Hello, everybody. Today we're going to talk about me as a creator. You guys can see from behind me, I'm surrounded by boxes. My life got turned upside down. But that doesn't mean I don't want to stop by and talk to you all about who I am, why I do the things I do, and why I think you should support me as a creator. It's a lot to try to nail in one video, right? But nonetheless, I am going to do just that. I'm going to do my best to convince you all that I'm someone not just worth following and listening to, but someone that you're going to want to buy books from. Let's get the particulars out of the way. Who am I? My name is Mister AnderSiN, and I create comic books about desires, monsters, and more. I'm a kink educator. I'm a father of an autistic child, and I've had to put a lot of energy into learning how to be an educator. I learned some of that from my previous profession where I was a manager of many. And due to an injury at work, I am left crippled to the point where there is not a single day of my life I go through without pain. I have been priced out and physically can no longer do Comic Cons like I once did. I now have to rely on coming onto this live format where I can be heard, hopefully by some great people who are willing to go on an adventure and a journey with me. Thought it was fair to come online and let all of you ask questions. Who is this guy? Who is Mister AnderSiN? And I figured, why not let you all ask the questions you want to ask and I'll answer them. I do hope that by the end of this, you've decided to follow and are someone who becomes a fan of mine. If you give me just a little bit of time, I think I can win you over. So if you don't mind, that's what I'm asking for today. Just a little bit of your time to kind of, I guess in a way, show off. Someone said, which ones are we using? I'm not sure what you're asking, if you could. Just for the record, I probably won't say your name just because I don't want to out anyone. It's nothing personal. I want to make sure I keep everyone safe because these videos are recorded. Oh, which books am I going to show you? All of them. I'm going to take you on a creative journey of exactly who I am. And by the end of it, hopefully, you're going to be willing to support me. And that's kind of cool because I've got a Fisher Price. I'll show it to everybody. A Fisher Price. This came out while I was doing the cleaning out, getting ready to leave. So I'm actually trying to use it, believe it or not, because this is how I roll. I'm using it as a prop to hold things up. All right, so I got some books to show off. I got to prove who I am. Again, I have ADHD. I'm not neurotypical. I am neurodivergent. I don't always act the way other people do. I don't see the world the way other people do. And hopefully that wins you over to wanting to be part of the worlds that I create. So if you would allow me, can I just take a few minutes of your day away from you and hopefully entice you with my stories? They are all on sale and whatnot. And I encourage you to find me over there on WriTTeNSiNs. Now, WriTTeNSiNs, really quickly, I'm wearing the outfit here. WriTTeNSiNs is basically how I started advocating for other people's comics. The problem was along the way, I stopped knowing how to advocate for myself. I don't like being a pitchman. I hear myself sounding like a used car salesman, and I hate myself. So I'm just going to do what I do. I'm going to be myself on all of my streams. I'm not going to be anything I'm not. Doesn't mean I'm not a positive person. You're going to hear passion. You're going to hear love. If it weren't for comics, I wouldn't have learned to read. That's a whole other topic one day that involves Stan Lee, the X-Men, an IQ test, and a dictionary and a comic book. It's a great story I'm told, and I'm happy to tell it to you all on another day. But for today, let's talk about, while we're here, how I started creating. And my first 3 books came out 7 years ago, believe it or not. I had worked on projects before this. I had done, one of the ways I wanted to break in was to be the person who created a story about these heroes called Dark Justice. And they were going to be in New York City in the future where a billionaire was the president. Yeah, I wrote this back after September 11th. And it was actually one of the reasons I first came back to comics, that particular story. And I tried to develop it in New York Comic Con. I actually released it. New York Comic Con was one of my favorite Comic Cons. Nowadays, as a creator, I'm just priced out. There's no way I can be part of New York Comic Con. The expense is too great. I can't afford it. And physically, it is tremendously bad. I would have to go with a team of people who'd be willing to take care of the booth because I need to be walked like a dog because my back cramps up. So even doing some of these live videos, and I have over the years gotten more than 1,000 hours, believe it or not, of live video experience. The pandemic was, we didn't have anything else to do, so my voice rang true. So I started with comics that I don't have because they're packed away now or they were destroyed by a hurricane. Another reason I'm trying to make my toy collection become smaller. I want to protect what I really want. It's making me realize what I really want. And I'm going to ensure what I really want. But I really want it to be the things I want in my collection. And I'm hoping to give you guys, having you guys give home to all the things that I want to pass on to other people. Because it's being a fan, there's nothing like it. I'm telling you, comics saved my life. Comics allowed me to learn to read. I am a passionate person about this. Comics in kids' hands are a powerful educational tool every day of the week. So I'm going to go on to telling you about the comics I created. The very first thing I worked on was New York Reporter, which was literally, it looked like a newspaper that was a comic book that introduced Dark Justice. Dark Justice interacted with Gothic Blue, and it was one of the first things I actually released at New York Comic Con, but it was free, just like the New York Reporter. The first professional thing I worked on, that wasn't even mine. It was You're Not Alone. And I would turn that into a series to help struggling creators. And a few of them have even told me that I saved their life. And there's nothing more powerful than hearing that. And then WriTTeNSiNs was born because I figured everything that we were creating in comic book came from sin. And we were dealing with a sin, or we were talking about a sin. We were doing sinful things. So I thought WriTTeNSiNs, and we went by WriTTeNSiNs for a long time, and people didn't get it. So we became comic book advocates, a brief stint as an indie advocates, but recently I've decided to focus just on me because I had never spent all that time on me. So now this is me in a lot of ways coming to you for the first time as just Rob. My name is Mister AnderSiN, and I create comics about desires, monsters, and more, and that's who I am. I'm also a dad, and I'm a human being, and I'm a fan, and I am an educator. So I'm a lot of things to many different people, but today I want to show you the things I created. The first official Kickstarter I had was for Barbara Unleashed. At the time, it had a different title. If you can read it on the screen, you can. It was misunderstood as an age play thing, which it was not. It's about, and you can see it in the back of the cover here, it says, I call BS on 50 Shades. This is a story about a young woman's journey into the New York City underground, where she wanted to explore her desires. And we used to say fetish, but oh my God, that word affects people. It hurts people. It makes people sensitive, which makes no sense. And which is why I made this book, to kind of explain to vanilla people, hey, it's not what you think it is. And it's a wonderful journey that is beautifully done by WriTTeNSiNs. It's actually been on Ukrainian television, not Ukrainian, sorry, Prague television. And that's one of the highlights of my life, is that something I created made it all the way to Prague as an international thing. This is a book that I had a lot of passion. We went with magazines because, if you don't know, comics started at magazine size. Now, while I was making that, the beautiful art of WriTTeNSiNs came in. I had a friend who said, I want to work with you. What would you like to do? And at the time, I realized how much I hated 50 Shades of Grey going to Hollywood. So check it out. And They Call Us Monsters is about the classic universal monsters, except they're human beings with genetic disorders. And it's Hollywood where the real monsters to turn them into monsters on the silver screen. I cannot tell you how much this helped me deal with what I was seeing with 50 Shades of Grey. It helped me be an educator because I kind of sold these two together. I was like, this is how I feel about 50 Shades, and this is the story I love. We did have a second book. The second book came out. I'm out. I sold out of it. So we no longer have the second issue. We have it digitally. So if and when that is an actual, here's the deal. I'm going to be honest with you. If you buy that book, and I'll sell the book, the Monsters book, we're doing it for $5. If you buy it, I'll give you the next two PDFs. One's already made. We're going to release one and we're going to kickstart it. Now, I'm not a big alternate cover fan. I've done them. I'm not proud of doing. I don't want to rip you off. I want to earn your support. I want my words to be enough. I want you to read what I've created and decided it's something you want in your collection because I'm passionate about everything I create. I just don't randomly create. The first professional project for that, I don't even have a book for because I didn't get a book. I got one just to have one, and unfortunately, it got damaged during the hurricane. It was you're not alone. So these were big for me to actually be the first time I could actually sell something I had been part of, and then I became part of the Fourth Monkey, which you can buy on Amazon. I don't have a copy because again, I think I've got two randomly somewhere, but I had some destroyed, and I no longer have them to sell. But you can find it on Amazon. The Fourth Monkey graphic novel, an anthology of awareness. I did something about suicide, and should people be held accountable if they push someone into committing suicide? After that was Mister AnderSiN. Something about my autistic son. At the time, all he would do is rip up comic books, and it really bothered me because I knew him being autistic, I was going to have to convince him that comic books weren't something to just rip up. He needed to take them very seriously. He needed to really connect with comic books, or he'd have no chance to get out of that autistic bubble. And I remember I showed this picture, and I showed it when we were doing his Kickstarter. If you look up Mister AnderSiN, you'll see it. There's this picture of him playing and being lost in his imagination. And I realized that I had to get into that imagination. So that was the third book I would release, Mister AnderSiN. It was about my little boy. And we were going to have this whole thing talking about Creator Kids and Creator Con and Kids Con, and it just fell apart, which was really sad. But that story doesn't end there. As a matter of fact, the story continues for every one of those books. I already told you that The Monsters is going to go to Kickstarter for its third issue, and it'll be a digital-only Kickstarter. Welcome to something new. I love the art in it. Some people have struggled with it, so I'm going to get a little funky. I'm going to do a Kickstarter only. We'll sell the first book, and that's it. And everything else will just be a PDF pack. So I want you to read the stories I create. The most important part of creating for me is giving you guys a show of a lifetime. I want you to read my books and be entertained for the rest of your life. Have that thought. They're a thing. Batman, look at fandoms. That's what I'm aiming for. I don't want to give you something that's the same old, same old. And that kind of was the idea when I got involved with The Advocator. The idea was brought to me by another creator who just wanted, honestly, if we're going to be honest, just between us girls, he wanted to become famous. He was one of those people chasing the rabbit of fame, and he wanted to do anything he could. But he had pitched this idea that I had already. I was going to call it, based on our site at the time, WriTTeNSiNs, I was going to call it WriTTeNSiNs Stories. He wanted to go with the name that I had picked up over the years of being a comic book advocate. Ordained me the comic book advocate. And because I advocated for people, I'm the indie advocate for short. So we came together and we created, and I'm very proud of this book. Here it is, The Advocator Presents. And the flip cover here, kind of my idea with the rest of the gentlemen involved in it. And it's something I'm still proud to this day. You got these amazing little shorts, and I stayed out of this book. I did help letter this, but I stayed out of this for the most part to create something. These are comic sodes. And I'm so thrilled about this. 6 different stories, small little things, small little stories, but they go to other stories. So if you like what you see, you can follow the actual creators. And I'm so happy to say that unlike most of my indie comic book collection, a lot of these creators, if not every one of them, every one of them is still around creating comics, and there's more you can get. So this is The Advocator. By the way, you can buy this off of me, $5, Mister AnderSiN. Even though it's magazine size, it's a few years old, so I'm going to give it to you for $5. $5 for the original title, Fetish Babies, now Barbara Unleashed. And if you buy the Barbara Unleashed pack of comics, I usually throw that in for free, just so you can see the changes of it. But we are running out. A lot of these books are just the end of it, and they call us monsters, which I actually do have a bunch left of that book, but that's sad because that's one of my favorite artistically, because the first book is watercolored. Every one of those is watercolored. How awesome is that? This is as well. The Advocator are $5 each. They're a few years old, so I want this out there. I want people to see it. And we went from winter to summer because there is no spring in Florida. And here we go. We have these three stories. Manny the Wolf crossed over with a fallen creator, a friend of mine, and it was Into the Suck. And I promised him I'd still promote it when he was done, when he was gone, and I did. I promised not only putting it in here, but you'll see where else it is coming up. We got Mary Revised, Seed Seeker. She's amazing. Martha Schwartz. She's also in something I'm going to do in a little while. Comic Sods. Comic Sods for others to watch. Super thrilled about that, Martha Schwartz. Oh, by the way, one of my favorite of the whole line, and I'll show it to you, was Belial. And Chuck, who's also one of the gentlemen behind the Advocator, did a great job with the character Belial. We had some great creators in here, and Chuck was also the one I lettered, Into the Void. Binary Star, Jamie Primack. Oh my God, amazing artist. And here we go. So this is an alter cover. Remember Martha Schwartz? I told you she's amazing. She helped me bring that character that was Manny the Wolf, the cosplaying detective. That was part of the story that I dedicated to my fallen friend, where we went and discussed Into the Suck. It was a kind of funny parody. And here it is, an alternate cover. With me, alternate covers don't have much value. Same thing, $5. Very few of these left. Trying to save them for the Kickstarter, but if you want one because you watched this and I sold this too, please jump on board. Just tell me, give me a Manny the Wolf cover, and I'd be happy to. $5. So this had stories about Manny the Wolf. I believe this has a Zombiful World of Oz story in it. We've got the chimp with the brown hat, and the story of Belial. It's a black and white, but it's still an amazing story. Great art by the one, the only, and you can find them on the TikTok app. Sean Barbour, Barbour, and Chuck Pinoy, and Joseph Duas lettered it, and penciled by Mark Zuptik. So $5. You can get all three for $15. As a matter of fact, if you're watching this now, not car salesman thing, I want to help you out because you're paying for shipping. You're not at my table. But it's cheaper for me to be home too. So why don't we do this? The entire Advocator series, 3 for $10. I want it read. It's an exciting time of my life, and I want it there. I do warn you, we're almost done. Due to a hurricane, I lost a lot of the copies, and I haven't been to a lot of shows, but I think I've got 5 to 10 sets of that. Not a car salesman, I'm just being honest. We're recording this on June 11th. I'm going to leave this at the front page of WriTTeNSiNs, a site that is going to be about creation, and there are going to be random things on there. I'm going to show you things that'll be about kink education, creating comics, whatever hits my mind. And we left all the old. You have everything about creating comics in there, so it's exciting, and I want you to take that journey. So, speaking of exciting, time moves on, time marches on. And one of the things I did was time marched on is we went back to Barbara. And in that time, I skipped over because I don't have the books anymore. We ran out. That's what you do. Barbara, Fetish Babies, I should say, becomes Barbara Unleashed. Oh, I do have a fourth monkey. Let me show you the fourth monkey. Thought I'd had it. Here it is. This is one of the ones I have, one of the few ones I have. Fourth monkey. It's probably better to get it on Amazon, but if you want to send a copy for me, this also gives to charity. $20. We already paid the charity from the Kickstarter. Ronald McDonald House, super excited about that. When I bought the books, I made sure to pay the price to give to charity. So very excited about that. Fourth monkey, apparently my last issue. So Barbara, Fetish Babies becomes Barbara Unleashed, and we release this. And we sell out of it. We sell out of it so quickly. It's when it became a comic book size, for some reason, it just took off. First printing, completely sold out. This is now the cover to, in this particular flip book, to Aftermath. Now, Aftermath had a different artist who did an amazing job. So Satine makes it so it looks like she's having these mental images, and that's what I tell everyone. This is when she's sitting and writing her blog. The blog was called Fetish Babies, by the way. So then, and there's that cover I showed you a little while ago. So then after that, Aftermath. Something happens by the end of the first book, which we now call just Barbara Unleashed, issue 1, or FB for Fetish Babies, because that's still her blog in the story. We might update it because people lose their mind, and it's sad. but whatever, it is what it is. So Aftermath was done by an amazing creator, and that was the original back cover. I don't have the original front cover, which is really sad. And here we go. So this was also misprinted, which is sad in itself. It's page doesn't affect the story, ironically, but was missing it. So here we go. Second book, and it looks like the world is out of focus, right? It's kind of grainier and not the way that it should be. So this was a great journey to go on, and it talks about the aftermath after you feel like someone, it felt like someone had stolen something from her, someone had taken something from her, and for her it was her connection to her fetish and to her kinks. So we get to a third story, and we get this cover, which you'll notice it's like this one for the second one, because we did a flip book. I wanted to give it a new cover. Here we go. It's the difference of how a woman can dress when she's allowed to be sexual and how she's not allowed to be sexual if an implied fetish. This is Mentor Search, and it discusses trying to figure out your way forward in a world that does not. It's really the only one I have left, and I'm being a little rough with it because it's actually my display copy, and it's a little screwed up over here anyway. The print didn't go great on these copies. I don't know what happened, a rare misfire by my printer. They do an amazing job. And you see the cover is a lot stronger. So this doesn't even need a board when you're putting it in a bag. We actually send it out without a bag because a lot of times it doesn't, it holds up, you know? So this is, used to be 10, because on the road you need it. But for you guys, I'm doing this 10. It used to be 10 an issue. So we do 10, and then this used to be 10 as well. I only have a few of this left. These two would be 15, but there was another story. We had one sell out. BDSM survey, which helped people learn about their connection to their fetishes and kinks, actually sold out. We don't have any more, sadly. And we're not going to reproduce it. We're going to retire it. So there's something coming out. It's called the Kinky Calculator for now. We tried to Kickstarter and didn't make it fly, but I was so in the middle of other things. In January, I got sidetracked, and what was February? And there were some problems, especially with my heart. So things went wrong, and I got distracted. So we're going to go back. We're running out of time, but we're almost done with my book, so it's all good. So here you go. This is going to help you and your play partner figure out how to build a better dynamic. Now, here's the thing. If you feel like you don't understand fetish, you don't understand BDSM, and you wanted to learn, this is a great book. This series is a great book. Vanilla people who are friends of mine, obviously, have said they never understood it until they read my book, and were so pleased by how my book comes across. So this entire one, this run, $20. And yes, I'm going to tell you about the prices of my book because I think they're important as well. Because these are the things I've created, and I want you to come on the journey, and I want you to feel like you're part of this, and I want you to read what I've created. Now, I did bring the original Cat Dad and Supermom. Now, remember when we were talking a few minutes ago, we were talking about Jax the Anderson, and he is over here. Well, Jax the Anderson was one of my more popular unexpected hits. This was just to get my son to stop ripping up books, and it worked. And then a spinoff of Cat Dad and Supermom came, and it was picked up by Scout Comics, but I did it myself. You can get these from scout.com. There is a first issue. It's Elefart. And I'm going to find it the minute I go off air. So it's going to happen. I brought in a comic. I'm basically out of issue 1. You're going to have to go to Scout to get issue 1. And then they came out with this Frontiers, which Cat Dad was in, and then Cat Dad and Supermom. Now, I have the books. If I have any more Cat Dad books, the original one, I can sell them to you for $5. I don't have a lot, but we do have issue number 2, What Makes a Hero. This is actually the Kickstarter cover. This is the Scout Comics cover. That is on Scout for $4.99. So, and you can get this for me. These are some of my copies. If you get the Cat Dad, and I have a few number 1s left, so I'll give you either 3 of these, 3 for $20 or $5 a piece. This retails at $10, I believe. Yes, $10. But if you want it and you're buying the Cat Dad books, I will sell this to you for $5, 3 for $15. let's do that. 3 for 15 out the door. So Cat Dad became its own thing, which was really, really exciting. Remember the Advocator? I like the idea of it, but I wanted to try to build a library. So to build a library, we kind of went a different way. And I wanted people to do also this idea where they were doing not just you could get a bigger world on top of it. We came out with 3 issues. The first one was Enter the Continuum. The second one was Heroics. And then the final one, these are just alternate covers, were actually, so we had Heroics and Expanse. And what people were doing, especially me, is remember the one story I told you would come back a little later? Here it is. We redid it, made it look better. Eclipse, which I wind up writing later, and I can show it to you. I'm pretty excited. Eclipse gets its own issue. By the way, to get Eclipse, $5. Eclipse is a Hawaiian hero who wants to stay in Hawaii, doesn't want to go anywhere else, wants to just be in Hawaii. So, and then we have Wolf and Fox, a divorced duo trying to learn to co-parent a city together after a brutal breakup. The only thing they want to do is rip into each other, but they got to protect their city. And then those both, Eclipse and Wolf and Fox, gets their own issues. And then we had Redeemers, which is a pretty cool team that I got to write. And Eclipse, I wrote, I didn't create. And Redeemers, it was the same thing. I do have, if you notice that character is loosely based on me. The creator, Mike, thought it would be funny. And then we had Heroics, which was a great thing. But it also has JW. JW is a hero, the world's only superhero, as a matter of fact, after suddenly people got powers. Because most people, let's be honest, would be villains. He gets introduced. He's going to get his own issue this year. We have the 3rd finished story. They're going to be all put together. So this gave birth to other stories and also had great stories from other creators involved in here. And it was pretty good. Spec Thompson did an amazing job. Angel of Sad Hill, that creator is actually working for DC Mild. The DC reboot of Milestone Comics. The Angel of Sad Hill is actually it, and amazing. I'm running out of time, so I want to re-upload the thing, but I got to show you some of the art in this. Look at this. And of course, that's actually a good friend of mine. All the people in here wound up being good friends of mine. And we had it. Now I wanted to show it to you here. This is created by Peterson Oliveira. Just amazing art, and then of course Specs with his after school job right here. Starts off our book in an anime way. I thought that was amazing. So all these books, they're a little bigger, so we're going to give these for 7 because they are very thick and very full of life. So that is who I am as a creator. I've got more on the way. I've delivered a book every year since 2017. I'm proud of my time. Continuum was kind of put back on a back burner just because of the fact that there was some unscrupulous actual publishers. And we weren't really just trying to be a publisher, we're trying to be something different, but the noise got too great. So we backed away. Maybe Continuum will be taken out of the closet where we're storing it or taken off the back burner, whichever metaphor you like, and put back to use, but for now it's not. So that's me as a creator. What do you want to know? What are your questions? Let me know and I'll answer them. Please consider supporting me. As many and other creators right now, at the price that shows are at, we can no longer afford to be there. That's very distressing. It is very distressing because we want to get you the stories, but these are the ways that we're going to need to be doing it. We might interact with each other on these videos. We might talk to you on these videos, and we need your support. So if a pitch sounds good, ask us about it. On Whatnot, I can't sell PDFs, but many creators have PDF available. You can see them on Kickstarter. And if you ask me, because I can't offer it on Whatnot, this doesn't go against the Whatnot rule, you can contact me and I will sell you a PDF of any story you've seen today for just $1. We're going to have to sign off for TikTok because 30-minute timer's up. And believe it or not, 30 minutes I can turn into a video. So I'm going to say goodbye and we're out of here. Let's see. Let's see if we hit the 1 hour mark or the 30-minute mark while everyone else is watching. Yep, 29 minutes and 55 seconds. Perfect. Facebook. We have Tommy Sharp saying hi. Tommy, you never reached out to me about the cards, and I have them all lined up now. The sports card, I have a picture of it on Facebook now. If you're curious, go look at the picture. It shows all the sports cards. Drop me an offer, and we'll see what we can do. So, do you guys like what you saw? Are there any books that you want to kind of get? Come over to Whatnot and buy them from me. For PDFs or the cards, because I'm not going to do the cards on Whatnot, please reach out to me on my profile, Mister AnderSiN, Rob Anderson, not hard to find. That's SIN, like written sins. See, they go along together. I'm going to say goodbye to Facebook. This has been fun, Facebook. We had them watch the video too, but we're going to get into some Whatnot trouble. I will talk to you all soon. All right, Whatnot. How are we doing? Make sure to subscribe. It's very, very important that you do. All right. And let's do some comics. What do you guys think? We're going to switch around so you guys can see comics. Maybe I'll hold them up in my hand. They're going to be inverted. Sorry about that. It is what it is. All right. Let's talk comics. What do you guys want? We want to talk about, let's do, so Cat Dad and Supermom. 2 issues right now. I've got about 5 issues I can sell you. It is a story of a young man's journey through autism, and the way he deals with the problems of life is to, and I'm showing you this because this cover is like great. This is a great cover. He goes to his dreams to figure out the things in life. I'm going to do something special for the Whatnot audience. I'm going to give you this book. I'm going to give you the Frontiers book. Okay, this is an activity book you can give your kids. The first issue of Cat Dad and Supermom, and where the origin of Cat Dad and Supermom, where it comes from. These could easily, this one's actually for $10. This I used to sell for $10, and this over at the Scout store runs $5. So we're going to do all 4 of these. And I don't have the, oh, here it is. Hi, I finally found it. Too bad I didn't get to show it off on the TikTok. But here it is, Cat Dad and Supermom, the original release. And you can buy all these at Scout. These are my personal copy, the ones I did through Kickstarter. So I'm not going to call them rare. They're just different. I'm going to sell them all to you, the 4 of these, $20. So I will set it up. If we could do it as an auction, I suppose, but it doesn't really have to be an auction. We could just sell it as it is. Oh, for some reason we lost our feed. I promise you, we are, there we go. Here we are back. Nope. For some reason it won't load. I don't even know why. All right, let me see. You're having trouble loading. Not always the way. If you want to buy any of these books, please just let me know. But like I said, at $20. And this isn't just for kids. My biggest clientele for this project is is actually sorry, there was a message from the Whatnot. It's just for $20. 4 books. Um, we're gonna do it right now. So we're gonna do buy now option. Is that really not working? So apparently nothing is working suddenly on Whatnot. Let me see. Can we add? Hold on, bear with me. Let me see if we got any. All right. What I'm going to do in the meantime is go in the back. If you guys are interested in that, just bear with me 1 second. We're going to get this fixed immediately for you all. I just have to duck into something. So we're gonna do listings. We'll do it as an auction, but it's gonna be 20 bucks. Don't compete with each other if you're watching live. Just give me a second. I have a big store, by the way, here on lot full of toys. I'm not a I don't like doing the auctions because the auctions to me, like I know what I want to get for the I'm just gonna put it up. If you guys wanna do the auction feature, I think just adds a little bit of excitement for some people. So if you want it, we'll do it as auctions. But for this particular one, I'm gonna put up as an auction. Don't try to outbid each other. I've got more than enough to do this a few times. So I'm just gonna bring up a single issue and we're just gonna do it the way we do it again. And I'm stalling just because this is taking forever. There we go. So here we go. It's mislabeled, so I'm gonna fix that. But I'm gonna add it to a show right now so I can use it. All right, so good. Here we go. Now I can get it for you. And this is on Whatnot. My name on Whatnot is WriTTeNSiNs. You can find this really easily. So, all right, we should be able to do it now. Here we go. I just got to quickly update the name because otherwise it's going to skip girls. So, all right, why is this not? Let me see. I'm having trouble on the other end of this. I don't want to add a listing. I just want to have a listing show up. There we go. There we go. All right, we'll do an auction. Gotta edit it. Sorry, you guys can see some tapping. We're just gonna put it under comics for now. Of course, it's giving me issues. All right. Okay, we're putting it at 20. I just want to make sure. Gotta do weight. Okay. All right. So we're gonna start the auction. 20 bucks. Get your copy of Cat Dad and Supermom in all four. And I can't tell if that actually worked or not because I'm not used to going through the phone. I don't know why this is giving me so much trouble. Oh, it's on. So if you want this, $20, you get the first issue of Cat Dad, Jack's the Anderson. We're actually limited on that. Scout workbook and Cat Dad and Supermom #2. This is something that you will enjoy and love having according to the people who have read it. I've actually gotten so much great feedback about that. All right, time is almost running out on my time to do this show, but there's so much in my actual store. Make sure to subscribe. Let's see. I'm struggling with and I'm sorry about this. We're having a bit of a connectivity issue with Whatnot. I don't know if something's up with Whatnot today or something like that, but we're definitely having some Whatnot issues. And I know it's just Whatnot because I haven't had any issues with YouTube yet. YouTube, we're just going. Okay, here we go. So we're back live. Let's see if we can get this to work. Nope. That's not going to work. There we go. Try it one more time. Let's see. Yeah, something's up because it won't show me the icons. All right, we're going to start the auction. It's $20. Here you go. You get 4 books. And I think we're going to sign off of this because we're having the technical issues that we're having. I appreciate you all tuning in and letting me explain. If you have any further questions about me, don't hesitate to ask. I do appreciate you all spending some time with me. I'm sorry that we struggled here on Whatnot today. As the auction expires, I'm just going to say goodnight. Make sure to subscribe and check out our store. All right. That's going to be it for today. Thank you for tuning in and let me explain, and make sure that you subscribe. All right. Don't worry, YouTube. I didn't forget about you. So this channel is going to have things about me, things about the world around us. We're going to talk about the creative world around us. We're not going to do news, anything like that. Oh man, my back hurts. But as a creator, the world is different now. It's harder for us. We're going to have to try new, unique ways to get seen by all of you. So if you don't mind, subscribe to this channel, support us, and help us continue to create. The Hollywood money has gone away, so a lot of creators have gone away, but I'm still here. But my ability to go to shows is now limited, so please, for not just me, but other creators, consider supporting us online, getting our books out there. And please, if you like what you read, talk about it, tell other people about it, and help us grow our network and our consumer base.